You so fucking precious when you smile. Yeah. Hit it from the back and drive you wild. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Girl, I lose myself up in those eyes.
Okay, what is up, guys? It's No Good Suna here. I'm be making a video about Yoruichi, which is a breakdown video. And if you don't know what breakdown videos are, it's my version of like guides, I guess. You have other YouTubers that make guides on the character, but breakdown is kind of like a guide, but it's like breaking down the character's strong points, talking about them. So I guess in a sense you could consider this a guide, but it's not entirely a guide because it's not. I'm not teaching you things that I feel like should already be basic uh knowledge for most players. Like, oh, you can use a combo or an attack at the end of the triangle string, stuff like that. Like, I feel like people should already know this stuff. But I will show you like how to utilize her abilities and all her stuff and to the best of her abilities, and explaining things that otherwise you might overlook if you didn't know the character. Some things the game might not even tell you. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. All right, let me hop into this. So yeah, it's my third time redoing this. I wanted it to come out good though. I really wanted this video to come out good because I really like Yoruichi as a character, and I wanted hers to come out good. Maybe when I do Kurapika's, I won't give a fuck, but but for now, I care about this. Okay, but anyway, in this video, I'm gonna be talking about the character, breaking down their strengths, their weaknesses, and just some things you should know about the character in advance. Is that the character is actually pretty good. Not the best character, not anything crazy, but she is probably the fastest ground-based character in the game that doesn't use a sword. She might even be faster than Ichigo, but I think Ichigo might have the advantage in just supers and range. So anyway, we'll go over it here in a second. But something you might know about the character, you might have noticed earlier, is that the character's health and their attack are some of the lowest in the game. But you would think that would make her bad, but oh, that is not the case, and I will show off why and why she was made this way. Anyway, we'll start off with square combos, down tilts, up tilts, and I'll show you what they do. I'll talk about the supers a little bit after, but if there's anything notable in the combos, I might just show off a super in advance to show you what it does. Oh my god, it says super. Anyway, all right, let's start off with the square combos. Lag similar to Hiei, so vanishing out of it can be pretty annoying sometimes. It's mainly in the first two hits. Uh, in like in hits 2 through 4, I think it's like there's hella lag. Like, don't even bother trying to vanish on your opponent because they'll probably ult you, or if they have a counter, they'll do it, or if they have an ult and you're like close to dying, they'll probably just raw ult you and kill you. So try not to go for try not to vanish during those. Just straight up finish the combo or cancel into something else, because otherwise you're going to end up getting hit by something. So that's the only advice I can really give you there. These moves have a lot of end lag in them. It's pretty bad. Following up and finishing the combo, that's what it looks like. If you decide that you cannot really follow up with any super past that, like if you charge this up, it's not doing anything for you. You can get it off only if they're like against the wall and Yoruichi's facing the wall, like right now how I am now. If they were going straight that way and then you did it, you could land that. But otherwise, like, that's not something you'll be ever doing. So what I recommend is maybe using your support in the middle of the square combo, something like this, and then get follow-ups after. But otherwise, like, why even bother trying to get it off at the end of the lights, because it's not gonna work. Um, Magicians and their combos. Um, After the knives hit, and then after the cartwheel kick, which we will talk about here in a second, because that's probably one of the best parts of her combo. Uh, the cartwheel kick is actually really, really good. Uh, it has a lot of range, so after it hits, you can actually use it to catch your opponent who's backstepping, or even if you delay the combo, like, look at how much range that flings her forward so much. And this particular light right here after the cartwheel kick allows you to follow up with a lot of things. It allows you to get thunderbolt. It allows you to get this. It even lets you get a pummel if you want. But uh, so that's gonna be like one of your main spots to use supers in. But it's also like one of your best ways to catch your opponent. So like, if I just slow down my combo, look at that scissor kick. Obviously, I should have let the knives hit first. And it looks different when your opponent's blocking it, right? Because if he blocks it, he's gonna try to move or grab, or he's gonna think you're gonna go for a grab, right? But instead, you let the cartwheel kick go and you'll hit him, and then you can, like, after the cartwheel kick, you can get a straight transition, a super, anything like that. Um, so that's probably the best part of her combo that you want to keep in mind. Always keep that in mind. That's the best part of her combo. She also has grabs in the middle of her combo. I guess I'll probably go over them a little more later, but let me just show you now. Has it right there, really quick. There after her two little those kicks right there, really good spot. But you have to she's so tricky with her timing. Like, I don't know why the combo look like it's slowing down right there, but if you can see, these are good spots to grab. Um, After the knives, it's kind of an okay spot to grab, but honestly, I would just, if your opponent isn't a character with a counter, I would just do the cartwheel kick. If your opponent has a counter, don't do it, because you're just walking into that. Instead, I would probably go for like a super or something. Um, so there's that. But anyway, let me move on to up tilts and down tilts. Let me just switch them back off of guarding. Crazy. I will say this: her down tilt, when it finishes, it's kind of disappointing. It doesn't give you any combo extensions after it when it ends, and a lot of people were actually really upset about that because it does look like you could continue after it, but there isn't any actual way to actually continue it after when it ends. Well, there is something you can do with switch tech, which I will show you now. If you do this, like, you get an extension like that because it'll stun them. I messed that up, but you kind of get what it does there. I'll try it again so you can see that it does actually land. Fucking A. So yeah, you can actually land that like that. But again, not really worth doing. So, and there's actually a lot better ways you can use this. Let's say your opponent's blocking, right? And then you try to trick them. You just go for a half charge one. You get a follow up after it. If you just do one light, you do not get a follow up after it. You have to semi charge it just a little bit at least. And then you get a follow up after it if your opponent tries to block or grab or something, and you do it before they get the grab off or something. It's good for that, just to catch your opponent if you think they're gonna go for a grab or something. Um, but if they backstep, obviously this has so little range that it might just miss. Um, but there's an even better way to do this. If you could actually use it as a combo extension, because if you get it off, uh, you get a follow up after the little knives hit. So that's pretty good. And not just that, you can even connect supers after it like that. Uh, the pummels. So that's actually pretty good. You also get a stage transition from it because she does have one light stage transition, so you can do something like that. I think the best way to use it is after heavies, which I will demonstrate here in a second. Actually, I'll just demonstrate it now. You go heavies into down tilt, and then you can go back into neutral combos. So that's pretty good. So it's good to use at the end of a combo if you want to extend it just to get more damage. Just remember there's a 3 combo rule, which I have not explained yet, but I will be showing it off. Rules and stuff that people don't tell you about. Things in the game that people don't show you, but I'll tell you. A lot of the top tier players will probably use them, but they'll never actually show you what they are. Okay. So that pretty much covers the down tilt for the most part. The fact you can get extensions off of it is pretty good if you want to just like half charge it and then continue comboing or whatever. But that's all you can really do with it. The up tilt, however, only really has one use, and it's a really fast guard break. Her fastest guard break, probably one of the fastest guard breaks in the game. Um, you could use it to like trick your opponent that you're gonna go for it, but don't ever actually finish her up tilt because you don't, like, my guy, put the controller down. You're not getting nothing off of this. You can do 2 lights, it doesn't do anything. You can kind of half charge it and then you can get some follow-ups like this, but that's it. That's all there really is to it. It's better to use as a mix-up tool, 50-50 with your opponent. They think you're gonna fully charge it, you don't actually fully charge it. You go for a combo. Well, I fucked that up, but you get what I'm trying to say. You kind of just go for a combo instead, or you actually fully charge it that time, and then you get follow-ups anyway. So there's no real downside except your opponent might backstep, but if you don't fully charge it, you'll catch them with it. Because if they try to backstep, you'll hit them early. So that's pretty good for that. Aside from that, I don't even know why you would use the up tilt. Maybe to look flashy, I guess, but that's it. There's no benefit to using the up tilt at all, except from the very first hit. Like, don't bother using it past that. Anyway, talking about triangle combos now. That's probably the best ones to vanish with. They all connect really well, and then as you can see right there, you get follow-ups after it. So it's actually pretty good. You can get super at the end of it. It's the triangle combo is probably your go-to combo. You know how the neutral combo has a lot of lights. If you go into something else, the lights, the lag is almost non-existent. So it's probably better if you want to cancel into it. Go into triangles if you can. That is the best way to go, honestly. So yeah, but that's one way to cancel your end lag. So go into triangles or go into up tilt. But it's better to go into triangles because triangle, if your opponent does anything like they're gonna vanish, like it has such good like vanishing potential that it even looks like she's actually as fast as she's supposed to be, as you can see. So yeah, that's all I can really say for it. You can cancel off the second hit to go into square combos again if you want to do it a bit sooner, but honestly, you're just missing out on free damage. So just finish it and then go into lights is my take on that. Or you can go into a stage transition after it because you do get one life stage transitions with Yoruichi. Not every character has one life stage transition, so that's a strength you should make note of. I guess this pretty much covers it for this. I guess air combos and jump triangle. Her jump triangle does allow you to go back into heavies, although it's not always very consistent. So be careful with that. You can actually leapfrog, as people like to call it, where you just damn it, Yoruichi. Uh, I messed up the timing on it, but you can just do that and until your opponent whites out, you can just annoy them with it. There's nothing really you can do after it. I recommend just going into combos after it, or just go into a one light stage transition after it. So something like this, something flashy that I just saw. You just jump and then do the one light. Anyway, that's pretty much it for her combo game. She's really fast, so try to abuse the fact that she's faster than most characters. She will most likely always go in before them with lights, and then you can just branch off into heavies or something. That's probably the best way I would use it. Um, I would use her lights. She also does have this little like thing that I guess is considered garbage cheese. Savior must be a different type of breed because he was telling me last night when I was playing with Apoli. Apoli was showing me this, so credit to him that she does have like a garbage cheese at the end of her light. It doesn't seem like they can get out of it. It could be maybe Savior is right. Maybe Savior's built different because I couldn't backstep it. Savior said it was backstepping and getting out of it, but I could not get out of it. It could maybe have to do with the fact that Apuli and me are different regions, so there's small delay between us. So that could be why. But basically, the moment that last hit hits, you go straight into up tilt, and it does appear to be garbage cheese. I didn't actually know that until Apoli showed me last night after the tournament was over. So if I accidentally did that to somebody, I am very sorry. I did not know that was a thing. But yeah, uh, that's pretty much everything that I was going to show you with the combos, and I'll show you what you can do with the character, and just some flashy stuff with the supers. I'll be showing off supers next. Okay, so now supers, right? She has Shunken Thunder, which is actually the punches. You would think it's the Thunderbolt, but no, that's Raijin Senkei is all the Thunderbolts. Shunken Thunder is these rapid punches, which if you finish, which all these supers can be used in the air, by the way. That's something you should take note of. Uh, if you finish it, it does the punch right at the end, which is like a really hard punch and like puts them in the ground. And if you don't finish it, you do get follow-ups, however, which is something really good. It's probably one of the best things about her super that she gets so much stuff after it. She is honestly such a very stylish and flexible character. She's limited to your own knowledge of the character and the game itself, which is why I love this character so much. I am so glad we got a character like this. Um, so because you can see me going for it and then not finishing it and then going into triangle combos or like square combos or you can just like go into an air combo which leads you back into this and then back into like that and then like finish it off with like a hold square like I'm saying it all depends on your knowledge of the character and that's really good. You can cancel it early if you don't do it like this. Something you have to know is that this super the R2 square, if you start it on the ground, it does not confirm in the well. If you do it half charge like I just did, it does confirm in the ult. So that you can half charge it and go into ult. But if you start it on the ground and you hold it all the way through, it does actually not confirm in the ult. As you can see, Goku's already getting up, so your opponent could block. Didn't even connect there. But if you start it in the air and finish it If you start in the air and finish it with the ground attack, you do get a confirm into ult. A lot of the times supers in the game actually do finish quicker when you start them in the air, and that's the case here with Yoruichi. Is that if you do her that attack in the air, it lets you land quicker, so you can start getting follow-ups after it, which is really good, especially if you're starting off like this with like an air combo or something, and then you finish it, you get the guaranteed ult, which is something to take note of, I guess. So there's that. The R2 square is really good. Like I said, allows you to follow up with square combos, lets you get one light stage transition, or if you made your opponent escape previously, milk out some damage by getting some lights in first and then going into the stage transition, which is really good. Um, it's all about really milking damage with this character. You want to milk out as much damage as you can by extending combos when you can. Uh, and this is one way to do it. So it's the best way to really use it is at the end of a triangle combo. You get this, and then you go into lights, because as you know, triangle combos do have tracking. So like as you can see what I'm doing here, just extend the hell out of my combo, and that only took 2 meter, and I did all that after using triangles in the lights, uh, into triangles, into Shunken, back into the Shunken Thunder attack. So that's really good for that. It's really good for extended combos. You get one life stage transition. It's a very powerful move. It is very close range, and it's not very good for Switch tech, unfortunately for me, right? But it's a really good move, and you should take note of that. Next, we'll be talking about Shimpo Pummel, which is it's a command grab. So already it's pretty good. The only downside to it, I guess, is that it doesn't have a lot of range. An upside to it, however, is that it can be used in the air, and one of the few command grabs that can be used in the air. I think it's like the only one besides dies, and it does have some range to it. But when it connects, you put your opponent in this position right here, where they have to either uh, perfectly sidestep, or they have to take the hold square into an air battle. And if you have more stamina, you're in an advantage already. They could also vanish it and put you into an air attack, so watch out for that. But if you're good at vanishing, this is optimal for you. You want to do this because your opponent is not very good at vanishing, or they have no stamina. Then you're getting meter. You're gonna get those 2 meter you just used by just putting them in an air combo and dragging them down like this. Well, you get most of it back, so you get like 1.5 back, which is really good. And because Yoruichi has a really fast dash attack, she's really good at like close range encounters. So that's something I forgot to mention, but it's a notice that it's something you should take notice of. I mean, you could always use her combo to go back into it because it's so quick. You'll catch your opponent slipping a lot of the time, and it's a good engage tool to start off quickly because her supers don't really let her move in quickly, which is a weakness I forgot to mention. All her supers don't let her follow in quickly. They're all like combo extenders or things to use to attack your opponent at close range. Um, so just make sure you're always in their face. She's an in-your-face character. That's something to take note of. The only Bleach character doesn't use a sword, which is interesting. Um, but Shimpo Pummel, it lets you follow up into the hold square. It lets you follow up in other things. Apparently, it lets you follow up in the Shunkin into this thing, the Thunderbolt. But and it connected there, right? But I promise you guys that when I used it online, it only ever connected like 3 or 4 times, and it could be maybe the delay or something with the online, or maybe I just fucked up the timing like I did right there. I could never really land it that well. I landed it a few times, but if you do manage to find a way to land it, congrats, because I cannot land it. As you can see, it probably needs precise timing. She is one of those characters that really needs precise timing to land and connect her supers, but all her supers link into each other very well. So if you can land them like this, you can do something like that and then follow up. And as I was going to show you that her Shunkin Thunder connects into her Shunpo Pummel because it lets you cancel early like this. As you can see, that strings together really well. Combined with the fact that if Shunko Raijin Senkei lands there, you could actually connect it after the pummels with the command grab. So there's also the note to note that as well. And something just to clarify, Piccolo actually works really well with this. So as you can see, I'm gonna do it like this, Piccolo to that. I get a follow up with Piccolo right here, and I messed that up. But as you can see, she's a very timing precise character. So it's obviously, I think that the people that want to use her, it's all about timing. It's something you should take note of. She's a very time strict character, as you can see, and she can be inconsistent at times because of the amount of time it takes to learn. So she's a very hard character to actually master, but once you master her, she's so stylish. She's such a rewarding character. I recommend that any fan of Bleach or anyone that wants to learn her, learn her, pick her up. You will love the fact that you know how to use her. I love the fact that I can use her really well. I love that. Anyway, let's continue talking about the supers. Next is Raijin Senkei. If you vanish it, it's probably the best AoE attack. The other attacks aren't good. If you get behind him like this, you see I got behind him. Let's say I vanish his hit, right? You can throw out a thunderbolt and you can jump and follow up. You get like a little integrated jump like a command to jump. But if you vanish like this and your opponent calls out a support or a switch to try and save him, it'll hit both of them. And just imagine that hitting twice. You see how much chunk damage is there? That's how much damage it would do if it hit twice or if it hit the two people. So it's a really good punish tool if you vanish your opponent. And because it has an integrated jump, it lets you go into your air combos and stuff. I messed it up there, but you can see it, but it only works on the very first part of the thunderbolt. So and it's very close range. But I keep messing up there. But if you jump, if you hit jump, the moment it connects, you get a jump, and then you get follow-ups in the air and stuff. And this can lead into any other supers, obviously, because they all link together. But if you don't want to do that, you can also connect square combos after it if you're close enough. So it can actually be used as a combo extender for ground combos. If you don't even want to go in the air for some reason, you're just like, hey, you know what? I'm Yoruichi, but I don't want to go on the ground today, or I don't want to go in the air today. I want to stay on the ground. Then it's good for that too. It lets you combo like this. Obviously, be aware of the 3 combo rule and stuff, because like you see it whited out right there. Uh, it can be used, like I mentioned previously, after the down tilt. It doesn't seem like it'll connect after down tilt. So if you're gonna use it with down tilt, make sure you follow it up with a jump, because otherwise you don't get a follow up. It's just things you gotta make note of when you play this character. But their Shunko Thunder is actually really really good. And if you half charge it, you get the thunderbolts like that. You can use it in the air, as I mentioned previously. So you can do something really cool that I like doing is going in from one Shinko Thunder into the other. So let me show you the amount of damage you can get with this. Jump, charge it halfway, and you get damage, and you still land before your opponent. And if you use support, you get a follow up, as you can see. So you could keep it going if you had meter for it, as you can see. You see this nutty stuff you can do with this character, and this is why I really like this character. So it really just depends on you as a player. It's a very high skill ceiling character. Um, she's not as easy as Ichigo or Goku are to pick up as a character. She really requires you knowing the game, which is what I love about her. You can separate the weaklings from the good players. Now let me show you something else with this Raijin Senkei is that if you do charge it all the way up, you get a bunch of thunderbolts, but it has a pretty quick charge up, but not exactly quick. You have to make sure your opponent doesn't come and attack you because it does leave you wide open. I recommend maybe using depending on your support type, you might this is how I connect my Toshiro Ice Birds too. Uh, Switch stun Ichigo, start charging it, and you'll get a guaranteed thing here. And if you're quick enough, you can even call Piccolo to maybe help and catch him, but it doesn't seem to work with Piccolo. So maybe if you try a different support, you might be able to get it. You cannot connect ult unless you activate it close to a wall. That's what I've noticed. But it's just something you can use. And I know that I mentioned stage transition a lot earlier, and this is probably one of the best places to use it. In Matterhorn, when you area change them once, no matter where you go in Matterhorn, whether it be the ice stage or this part of the stage, I think I'm getting this little field, um, you get a guaranteed Raijin Senkei. And if you call up Piccolo, you'll always get a guaranteed charged one, and then you can do like, well, the support failed there, but you'll get a guaranteed charged, so that's really good with her. And as you know, when you stage transition, you get 2 meter anyway, so you're gonna get a meter if you stage transition, and you only need 1 meter to use this move. These moves, with the exception of the command grab, need 1 meter to use, and they're such good 1 meter moves, honestly. Check this out. So if you do this, you do that, you can just which is you see that I use 2 meter, right? Really good damage for for just 2 meter, and you can hit triangle to land before your opponent, which is what I was trying to show you when I fully charged it. But you can just do it with the semi-charged ones to show you. If you ever want to land before your opponent, just remember that you can hit triangle, hit the ground, which is what when you charge it, fully charge it in the air, like I did a while ago. You're wide open. Your opponent's gonna fall before you. Make sure you hit triangle to land before your opponent does. That way you have time to block, and they'll be getting up. You won't get a chance to follow up unless you use a Piccolo support or like any other support. But you'll have time to land and start blocking before your opponent even gets a chance to start attacking you or punish you for doing that. So that's really good. And I don't think this attack is vanishable. I have not seen anyone vanish it yet, thankfully. So it's a plus side. You can't vanish this either, and obviously you can't vanish the command grab. So those are all really good pluses for the character. All right, and next I'm going to be explaining her ult and her grab, which I didn't really mention too much earlier because these correlate together into a really good 50-50 that's kind of OP, but a lot of other characters have it, so I don't really care. Good chance to activate your ult, right? The thing you have to know is that if your opponent, if you see, if your opponent activates her ult, Yoruichi's ult, and you see the animation coming up, you cannot escape anymore unless you have red meter. But you can escape it. It's unescapable up to that point. If you grab them in that small frame that it takes to activate the ult, like right here, uh, if your opponent can escape. If they escape before the ult starts, they're good. That's the only way to escape it. If you wait until the animation starts, you're fucked. You cannot escape. You cannot escape this ult unless you have a red meter at that point. But it becomes inescapable at that point. I have not been able to link a support together with this. I have tried. I maybe I suck at the timing. If you can do it, let me know. If it's possible. I have not been able to do it. Uh, her ult's really cool though. I mean, you get a follow up after it if you use Piccolo first. Um, other than that, like it's pretty good, but it puts you a little bit too close to the opponent for my own comfort. Honestly, I like to keep my opponent at an okay distance, and as you can see, Piccolo gets a follow up, and you can get follow ups like this for 5 meters. I could have done a Shunko pummel if I wanted to right there, but I didn't. Um, so there's that, and ways to confirm it. Obviously, like I mentioned before, if you half charge this, you can go into it right there. If you use just one Thunderbolt, it lets you go into it. If you do something like this and then like this, you actually have time to land it. And I even called Piccolo right here. So there's that. And Piccolo does land after this. I think the best support, as I mentioned before, is Piccolo to use with Yoruichi because it goes across the map and all her attacks, like her, oh, I've messed up and, well, it doesn't matter. Uh, recenter her for the most part, like her ult and her pummel, her command grab, recenter her, and Piccolo will hit no matter what. Goku's also a really good support. Aizen works okay, it's pretty good. I've seen Kenshiro work for her pretty well. I've seen people try to use her with Toguro, but I do not think that is a good idea because I don't think she works too well with Toguro. I'm not going to show you an R3 because I am not an R3 scrub that relies on that to really do anything with her. But just know that you can R3 with her at an okay angle. I've tried the whole square R3 and it would miss. It's something I did forget to mention. Her whole square, it looks really cool. It looks like she drags her whole body into a punch, which looks really cool. Um, you can use it also if your opponent blocks it. Is something I like to whiff R2 square sometimes because if you hold it semi all the way, it gets a little pushback on your opponent. So you get some distance between you and your opponent, which isn't it's not bad. Charge it like that, you get some distance between you and your opponent, which is not bad. Not a lot of characters have this much distance between their opponent when they get a hold square. They might get like maybe that much distance with a hold square that's not fully charged. So it's a plus side for her, but I don't know if it's really a plus side because you want to get in on your opponent. Um, but yeah. Also, some moves to take note. This is safe on block, so if you throw it out and they block it, you're safe. They can't ult you. You'll have time to block before they ult you. But if obviously in the middle of you activating it, if they're just mashing ult, I wouldn't do it. Same thing with this super right here. It's safe on block as long as you don't charge it all the way. If you let it go all the way, you're unsafe as shit. But if you do it like this, they're safe. The Shunko Pummel, I don't know if I mentioned, it's good to use in the middle of a block string because if your opponent goes for a grab thinking you're going to grab him, you'll probably catch him with it because it'll whiff. The grab will whiff because you'll go invisible for a second when you teleport, and that makes it gives you like Aizen invincibility frames, so that's really good. Um, So I will mention that there's more you can do with just this. You can actually backstep to disengage, land so you can get out of here. Like there's so much you can do with this move. Um, a lot of her moves too. You can just run away after you use any of her moves. So use that. But now I want to get the hell out of here. Like disengage. Your opponent is like a really annoying character. Or if you want to put some distance between you and your opponent by doing something like that, pressuring in with support. If you wanted to use Vegeta, so after you do this, you just run away maybe call in Vegeta and run in with Vegeta or Goku coming in behind you, and then it'll put some pressure on your opponent to block. That's not a bad idea, I would say, with this character. She has a lot of options open to her, as I had previously mentioned. She really just uh she's really just whatchamacallit, limited to your own knowledge of the game. She's a very uh stylish and flexible character that I really think that if you learn to master, you will really enjoy this character. She's really good. I love playing this character. Uh, Whereas like someone like Hiei, who would you would think would be as fast as Yoruichi, is not as fast as Yoruichi. His square combos have even more lag than Yoruichi. His grab does not allow into ult. Like Yoruichi has everything, like except for a ranged projectile. But you have to kind of charge this to get a ranged projectile, which is not really a ranged projectile. Um, but yeah, he doesn't. She also doesn't have to raw ult to get value out or anything. So in a sense, that she's better than. And my final verdict is she's better than Hiei. Less landing lag, the less combo lag than Hiei, but ultimately is what I would think Hiei should be in a sense. And she's not very one-dimensional. She has very like different ways to really like end her combos and even go into her ult and stuff. It really just depends how you want to play the character. And if you have a support like Piccolo, you can always like extend your combos even further, like that pummel there into that. Like it really depends on you want to play the character. And this is what I really love about her. She's not gonna compete with someone like Cell. Obviously Cell and Ichigo are gonna beat her down. She's not very good against switching either. She can't do anything. She can't cancel out anyone coming in. Um, so there's that. So she's weak against that. My final verdict is she's like a really good A tier character, probably one of the better A tier characters in the game. Um, but she won't be able to compete with people like monsters like Ichigo, Kane, and Cell. She might be able to put in some work against them because of the type of character she is, but in the end, I don't think she is that powerful enough to compete with them. So that is my final verdict on that. Um, I guess that's pretty much it. Upload, I should say. A lot of other JumpForce YouTubers will make guide videos and stuff, and that's understandable. I have not watched any other guides simply because I did not want to tarnish what I think about the character or anything. I want my own thoughts going into this video. Um, but this has been my thoughts on the character. I think the character is a solid A tier. It works. She works really well with a good support, but she doesn't necessarily need it. But she will really appreciate it because she gets follows up after her ult. Which there's some characters like even Law who doesn't get follow ups after ult. So I think it's really good if you do have a character that allows follow ups. Um, and Piccolo's probably good for her. Uh, I guess if you do have any questions for me, I do stream on Twitch, no Gitsuna X. So instead of the dash that I have in my name, it would be an X. A picture of Goku Black drinking coffee. That's me. Come say hi. Come talk to me. I might be playing a DLC. Who knows? Come ask me questions. It's easier to answer there than it is on here because sometimes getting too descriptive with text can be annoying. So I'd rather answer it like me on stream. Come talk to me. Come hang out. I'm down to play my viewers all the time. You know. But yeah, let me know if you want more breakdown videos. Let me know who to do next. Remember, breakdown videos are not guides. They are just talking about the character strengths and weaknesses and what I think about them. Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Much love to y'all. All right, peace.